Okay, hi, this is Ron McKinney with Padada Photo, continuing our series of webinars. We're excited to have David Hofmann here with us, also known as Shark Cookie, of course, in the social media circles. And that's what we're going to talk about today is social media. So the first thing I'd like to open up with, David, well, before I get there, I just want to let everybody know that if you have any questions, we want you to put it in the chat box. And
Yes.
the chat defaults to sending the chat only to the host and panelists. And I want you to change the chat so it says to everyone, so everyone can see it when you post a chat and a question. So from there, David, I'd like you to talk a little bit, before you get into like some of the tips and just talk about, how you grew your social media, how many followers you have, with Instagram and now you're like really delving into TikTok. And I know you've just gone over 500,000, but that was like a week ago. You might be 600,000 by now. So.
Not yet. Sure. Okay. So I actually hated Instagram. I hated social media in the beginning, but back then I was actually hired to consult for an app that was developed. And so I was kind of, I downloaded all the social media apps that I could find, and Instagram was one of them. And I just put my work out because that's all I had. And that went really well. And then I grew to over 500,000 now. That was about 10 years ago, or I don't know, like something like that. And then I think about last year, when the pandemic hit, TikTok really took off. And I think it's because everybody was stuck at home. And so everybody turned to social media, and that was the coolest thing. And so I realized I need to be on TikTok. And I really struggled because it's a video platform. I'm going to talk about this a little more. And, I'm a photographer, so I didn't know what to do. And I struggled for a long time. And I finally found a way to make that work. And since the beginning of this year, pretty much when I took it more serious to now, I have 540,000 followers. So 10 times faster than Instagram. And when we set up this webinar, I think about 2 weeks ago, I was just under 500,000. I gained like over 40,000 in 2 weeks. So, and that's just like how TikTok works. It's the platform, everybody's on it, and it's like you can reach the most organic growth there. That's just like in a nutshell. I have another social media platform. At one point before TikTok, I was kind of like, so was Instagram was I just lucky? Was I just at the right time? Is my work really good or not? So I joined another platform. I'm not going to say because I don't want to support them. It's a terrible idea, but I did it anyways. And I put my work out there without my name. And I got millions of views there too. So it was kind of a confirmation. Yeah, your work doesn't suck.
Well, let's talk about your name since you're mentioning it. We have our first question from Shane is he was curious about the origin of Shark Cookie.
So that's actually a very good question because it's actually important and relates to social media. So it was a marketing decision to come up with Shark Cookie. I did. My name, David Hofmann, is one F2, and nobody knows how to spell it, and it's not very exciting and everything. So I thought I need to have something that people can remember without handing them a card or writing it down or things like that. And a friend of mine had an email, and it was Shark Tacos. And it's the only email in my entire life that I remember by hearing it once. Once I heard it, I'm like, Shark Tacos? What the hell? And so I'm like, I'm just replace the tacos with cookies, and that's what it is. So it's two simple words. You know how to spell, you put them together and your brain starts doing like Shark Cookie. What is that? And then it's like it lives rent free in your head forever.
Right. Exactly.
So it was a marketing decision. Thing about it, if you have that on social media, it's something catchy, it's something that people remember, and it's usually available on every platform because nobody, it's just like, so if you have a username, and if you pick a username, I would pick something short. Everybody knows how to spell it, and it's not something common, so that, the username is available. So, yeah.
That's cool. You know, the challenge though is that, you know, I think you came up with that probably early in the very early going for you.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know,
Even before, yeah,
right,
even
right.
before I had Instagram.
Yeah. And so a lot of us, you know, we've already, you know, gotten started, you know, so
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, how much it would help to suddenly come up with a really cool name. Um,
I, I understand that. I kind of was lucky in that way that I picked that early on,
mhm.
but just the example of TikTok growing over 500,000 in less than a year shows that you can start something new and grow really big, you know. So that you know, having an established brand with like 5,000 followers doesn't mean like, oh, I need to stick to that, you know. So if you want to start something new, that is a good idea. That's, I think, the power of social media. You can grow really quickly, very fast,
Yeah,
like, you know, to large numbers.
exactly. Okay, so where do you want to get started with today?
Yes. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of what social media is. Not sorry, don't worry. It's not about like I'm not starting in kindergarten, but what companies are doing is they're actually killing any kind of personal websites. When the internet started, it was websites. Everybody built their own website and everybody had their own thing and their blog and everything. And social media companies said, no, we don't want that because that we have no control. It's the user has control. So they built these social media platforms. And what you do, you put everything there, you put everything in there, and nobody's looking at websites anymore. I mean, the only time when someone is on a website is ordering something from Amazon or from a store. Other than that, nobody's visiting websites. So as much as you want to think I'm building my website, yeah, you should have it, but at the same time, that's not where people are. You just have to see where are the people, and that they're on social media. And so you have to be on social media. You can funnel them back to your website if they're interested, but your main focus should be on social media. And that's that is very powerful because the companies have managed to get everybody on social media. The negative side effect or the danger is that you don't own your audience. So if you're on social media, it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, whatever, they own it. You don't own anything. You actually give them permission to do whatever they want with their photos and anything you upload. And they can close your account anytime for any reason. And that's what happens to a lot of people. So you want to make sure that as big as you are in social media or small, it doesn't matter. You always want to convert your audience to like an email list, bring them back to your website, have different platforms so that if one gets shut down, there's the other one. You don't have to like really put all the effort in all platforms, just spread it out.
And I think it really talks about, you know, like how powerful social media is for you because, you know, you put, you know, a lot of energy into that, but you don't put a lot of energy into your website. I mean, you do have your website and it's there and it has your images, you know, but your focus is totally on social media. And the fact that you're as successful as you are, you know, like you've been driving around the country for, I don't know, more than a year now. And
2 years, yeah.
yeah, and your work is being driven, you know, by clients reaching you through social media. I think you're in
Yes.
Austin right now. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yeah. So yeah, that is the power of social media because everybody's on it. You can reach an audience that is far bigger than you could ever reach in any other way. So that's definitely a very cool thing. As much as I grew and became successful through social media, I don't think that is you can't replace, like, social media doesn't replace running a good business with everything that's important with that, you know, building networking, you know, building relationships, doing good work, doing local networking and all of that. So that's still important. Social media just is like, you know, airing a commercial somewhere on TV, and then people, you know, might find you, but you still need to have a solid business setup. So people think that, yeah, I'm just like posting on social media and that's it. No, it's far from it.
Right, exactly. And
Yeah.
that's part of what we're going to talk about today,
Yes.
because, you know,
Yes.
you do need to build up your social media game, but then you need
Yeah.
to be able to take advantage of it with your business practice.
Right. Yeah. One thing that I have written a few notes, and one thing that I want to clarify, and that is important for you to understand when you're on social media. The platform does not care about you, right? They don't care about how well you're doing and pushing your stuff out. All they care about really is to keep the people as long on their platform as possible, right? So TikTok wants to keep the people on TikTok, and they do whatever they can to feed you something that you find interesting, that you keep watching one video after another, whatever, right? And so you have to look at it from that way. So as a photographer, as a business owner, whatever, you go up on social media, you think like, oh, they're not pushing my stuff out, or they should do, whatever. It's not about you. Like, they don't care about you. So you have to do something that engages the audience, and then the platform will reward you for that. So that's really important to understand. What can I do that keeps the audience longer on it? And the funny thing about it is that the trend in social media, I mean, everybody knows that, is short form video. Instagram officially announced that they're no longer a photo sharing platform, they're a video platform now. And that comes with TikTok being so successful. It's the #1 platform right now. It's all short videos. If you do a slideshow on TikTok, it's going to tank. Nobody wants to see photos. Now, we're all photographers, right? We're not videographers. And I'm not saying you need to be a videographer. We can talk about that a little bit in a moment, like what content you could create as a photographer. Because I don't want you to look at my TikTok and think, I need to do exactly what David's doing. That is one thing that I am doing that works. But there's a lot of other photographers that are on TikTok, and they're successful too, and have very different content. And so that doesn't mean you have to become a videographer. That's, by the way, why I didn't want to do a class at the conference about video for social media, because I feel like that's just one very small subset. So yeah.
See, now, when we talk about like doing video too, the beauty of it is we're really not talking about, okay, you need to become like a professional video, you need to hire all this equipment,
No.
These are videos that you can do off your phone, off your camera, and
Yes.
and get them out, really quite easily without like putting a ton of time into it. It's almost like just having the content out there is the most important thing.
Yes, yes. And I actually, when people like ask, what should I do on TikTok or social media in general over the short video, the first step is always to not create, but to consume. So you go on a platform and you look through other stuff. You search other like if you're into photography, and obviously we all are. You look up other photographer, maybe you look up dance photographer, maybe you look up other photographers that are not in the dance world, and see what they do. And you will actually be surprised. They do quite a variety of things. Like the guy that did actually just the webinar that always has the flowy dresses. What's his name? Ash something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has actually a very successful TikTok, and he does very simple. He has a phone. And does little videos, and then he cuts to the final photo, and he does it in a really good way. And if you watch his TikToks, they're doing really well because he does it in a very, very good way. And that's another example. So I do the slow motion videos a completely different way. There is a photographer with over 3 million followers from Australia, which is crazy. In Australia, it's not that big of a, it's a big country, but there's less people than in Los Angeles combined. So he's verified, has a big following, and all he does is comedy. He doesn't even show photography. He does comedy. He's very tall. He does use that as his comedy, but it gives him a huge audience. And then at the same time, he's like, yeah, I'm a photographer too. And like, oh yeah, I need wedding pictures. So he does, I think, weddings and other portraits, whatever. And so he says he's booked out until for the next 12 months. So there's different ways, and that's really important. There isn't one way to do it. And I think that's really sometimes the mistake is like, I need to do exactly what this successful person is doing, and then I'll become successful. So that's not the way to do it.
Yep. Okay. I want to just take us back for a moment.
Yeah.
Before we started talking about video, we were talking about how the social media companies kind of like look at us
Yes.
and they're not really concerned about us. And JL Williams asked a question along those lines, and
Yeah.
that's that Facebook and Instagram spends millions on psychological research to keep
Yeah.
eyeballs on their platform.
Yes.
But I, being JL, can't get conversions unless I get people off the platform. And how do I compete against that?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's true. Yeah, they spend a lot of time in research and have very sophisticated artificial successful with that.
So David,
Yeah.
I think you froze up. Did everybody else
Yes,
did
oh,
it
yeah. It
freeze up
says
to everybody, or is it me?
unstable. Oh, yeah. It just blinked unstable, but now hopefully it's better again. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so
Okay.
go ahead and repeat what you just said, because we lost that.
Okay, so yes, all the platforms spend a lot of time figuring out what really works well, what people engage in, and they have different measures in that. And yeah, it's a valid point. You want to bring them off the platform. I actually don't think so. You don't want to bring them off the platform. You don't want to direct them. So here's how I look at the social media following. Like I have over 1 million now between the two big accounts that I have. How many of those are actually potential clients? Like less than 0.001%, right? And that's fine, right? So I don't advertise. Like I don't put advertising out. I don't say, hey, I'm a photographer and this is what I do. Not even that. I just put my work out. And people enjoy it, and they want more of that. It's actually a very good, important point that we should talk about. So what I do is I just create an audience that enjoys something, and there is going to be some people that say, "Hey, dance! I'm a dancer, or my daughter is a dancer. He's a photographer." It says in my bio. So you put that in your bio, and then there is a link to your website or to contact you or an email or something like that. Let them do the step. If you do that, and that's one thing where I totally disagree with the advertising industry. Not that it is completely wrong, but for social media, there's this call to action. A link, call us now, or like book now. That feels like pushy and advertising, and that does really bad on social media. People don't want advertising. Mm-hmm. That is disguised as content. That doesn't work. It works for these makeup artists, these great content creators that have millions of followers, and they do their makeup and they say, oh, this works. But for photography, it's like, I'm a photographer and this is what I do here. Look, hire me. Scroll. Like 2 seconds and they scroll away, and then they're not following you. And yeah. So what I suggest is you put beautiful work out, you put engaging stuff out, and you let the people reach out to you instead of trying to pull them in. So you don't want to convert them to your audience. They'll come. If they like what they see, they'll come. You put photography in your bio, that's all you need.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, how, you've talked about having like your own email list. How do you get people, on your email list? Is that something that you just work, like do through your website, or, because I don't think you even ask people to get on your email list, do you?
So what I do is, like, you have one link in your bio on Instagram and TikTok. So what I do is this, some use Linktree, I use DirectMe, it's the same service. So it creates a super simple website. There is just a row of buttons. And one is like, email me, join my email list. One is sign up for the Pas de Deux conference in 2000. I put that in.
Well, very good.
So like the most important things, and that's really, really important. If you have a link in your bio to my website, your website takes 10 seconds to even load. And then they have to find, where do I come with it? No, way too long. One click in the bio, and then there is the option, sign up for my email list, reach out to me, like, like super simple, one step. That's how I get it. And I actually like, every person that I added to my email list, I asked before, can I add you to my email list? When they sign up, they consent to that anyways. But before I did that, I asked every single person. So my email list isn't big, but out of, like, I have like 3 people unsubscribe out of everybody. So that is quality over quantity is for me. It's like,
Exactly.
I really believe in that. That's just my motto in any way. So yes, and I don't spam them. I mean, that goes a little bit away from the topic, but like I sent maybe 4 or 5 emails a year. That's it. So very, very little. So it becomes more powerful when I send something out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. One thing that I want to quickly mention, because we're talking about social media, but I would say like, so I think for us, for everybody, photography wise, Instagram is still the most important. I would say still for me, it is the most important, because there's way more tools to interact with people. The messaging system is way better. And photos are still important for us and for the clients. So, so Instagram and TikTok are very different in the way they engage with people and how people engage in the platform. Instagram is more about who you follow, and then who you follow will show up on your feed, and that's what you do. Instagram makes some choices about like what they're going to show you or not, even if they follow you. But TikTok is all about that For You page, where, and that's where most of the time you spend on the For You page, which isn't people that you follow, but what TikTok figures out that you like. And one person that I talked to put it really nicely. They said, or really, that it's very true. TikTok knows me better than I do. And that is actually a scary statement, but it is true. What I see on my For You page on TikTok is exactly what engages me. They're freaking smart. And they track everything that you do, how long you spend on a video, where you look at it, if you go in a comment section, if you go on their profile and look at other videos, even if you don't like them. So they're really, really smart about that. And that's the main difference. So TikTok is very much driven about, even if you have no followers or very little followers, a video can go viral and you can get thousands of views, you know, in the millions even, which is the powerful thing. So if you create good content, it'll be pushed out to people and they will see it. On Instagram, that is almost impossible to do. That's very, very hard. That's more like who you follow, if they follow you back and interact with you and all of that. So just very, although I should say Instagram is trying to mimic TikTok on the Reels side. You know, the Reels is the answer to TikTok. It's kind of, so I would always say the Reels in Instagram is almost a separate platform within the platform. The algorithm for Reels works more like TikTok. The rest of Instagram works more like the classical version of Instagram.
All right. So, you know, when you talk about content going viral on TikTok, you know, what is it about one video that gets it going, you know, as opposed to another? Is there something about one video being more dynamic or interesting or funny, or, you know, what is it?
Yes. So, so I talked to a lot of big creators, verified creators in the millions. There is a Clubhouse group where I always go, and there's a lot of big creators, and we talk about this all the time. Everybody has different approaches. There is simple ways to get engagement and get virality. Like a few things, I actually wrote it down. Like if you post about a controversial topic, right? You post about triggering topics like, you know, gay marriage or abortion, politics, people arguing, people beating each other up. Anything you see on the news, like it's usually bad stuff, that gets engagement, you get a viral video. That is often a chance. Another thing is disasters, comedy, cute babies, cats, dogs, dangerous things, crimes. All of these things create viral videos. One thing that's not on the list is photography. So we have to work a little harder, right? And so what I noticed, and I've done a lot, and the analytics on TikTok especially, but also on Instagram are really, they're your friends, and you have to look at that. It's very interesting what you can learn from that. Watch time is a very important thing. And that's actually exactly what you were asking. So watch time means like, so let's say you have a 10-second video, which is, by the way, a good length. 10 seconds is actually a good length. You shouldn't do long videos. Social media, the short form social media is not YouTube. Don't do long videos. Nobody will watch it. Okay, short videos. And watch time is like, say you have a 10-second video, and then you can look in your analytics how much of these 10 seconds have people watched on average. The higher it is, the more likely a video goes viral. Another thing that really is important, like how many times people share your video. So like say, oh, this is a funny video, I'm going to send that to my friends, right? So they count that in terms of like engagement. How many views, obviously, how many likes you get, how many comments you get, and stuff like that. Those are all important things. But no, those are all metrics that, you know, TikTok is using that doesn't answer like, what should I do, right?
Mhm.
So there's different ways. And I always say, you have to have something that holds your attention for 10 seconds at least, or 15 seconds, whatever your length is, right? So like, for instance, I do these slow motion videos. You can see a dancer prepping. So you know something is going to happen. Something amazing is going to happen. Yeah, it looks great. It looks beautiful. There's an amazing dancer. What are they going to do, right? And then they kind of prep and they go up and then they dance, and then it's like frozen, like, oh, wow, okay. And then I do a sound that kind of matches that. It's like a soundtrack from a movie. And that holds your attention for 10 seconds. So my watch time usually is about 80%, between 80 and 90%. So that's kind of what I do, right? There's different ways you can do that, but it's important that you don't do anything that peaks before the end, because if you show the photo and then there is more coming, people will scroll away. Your watch time is low, your percentage is low, and TikTok says, that's not a good video and will not show it.
Now, when you say you add music, you know,
Yes.
like where does that come from? Is that something you have access on, you know, right there on TikTok, or do you use a different program to pull music?
So music is copyrighted, and everybody that's dealt with YouTube knows exactly how stupid that is. You put music on your video and then YouTube says, oh, this is copyrighted, and it blocks it or whatever, you know, you get in trouble. And to get around that, both TikTok and Instagram have licensing agreements with the music industry, and they have a huge library of music. So when I produce my video, I do it without sound. I upload it to the platform, both Reels or TikTok, and then I pick from the music library. And there's like almost any music. It's almost like Spotify. Like you can search for a song and you will find it. Usually it's limited to 30 seconds or 60 seconds. That just has to do with the licensing. They only have a license for a part. They don't want to have the entire music out there. And then important in that regards is there is two different accounts on TikTok. There's a business account and a private, or it used to be creator account. Now it's called a private or personal account. You don't want to do the business account, because business means professional or commercial. And then your sound library is way smaller. It has to do with TikTok having the license agreement with the music industry that it's only for personal use. So if you have a personal account, you get all the songs. If you have a business account, you have just a small amount of songs. One little difference between the two accounts, you have your link in your bio and a business account from the start. If you have a personal account, you have to have at least 1,000 followers to get analytics and the link in the bio. But getting 1,000 followers on TikTok is super easy. So go with a private account.
When you do the video, do you shoot it on your phone, or what do you shoot it on?
Sometimes on the phone, sometimes with my camera or cameras. I have different ones. So yeah, so I don't do anything on the phone. I do everything everything I pull into to my laptop, edit it there,
Okay.
make sure it's great, and you know, crop it right and all of that, and then I export it back to my phone and upload it.
Okay, and how much like what kind of program do you use when you edit it?
You can use pretty much anything. I don't want to go into all the details, because some of my video, you know, I get questions every single day how I do my slow motion videos, and it's kind of I'm sorry, it's just a trade secret. It's just like something that nobody has figured out right now, and it took me years. I worked in the movie industry. It took me years to figure this out, and so my personal process, exactly what software and when and what, I just don't want to share. It's just nothing like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay. So
eventually someone will figure it out, and then it's out.
yeah, Shelley is asking, are you saying you want to see a beginning, middle, and end of story
No.
in 10 to 15 seconds, or it's really just showing something
Yeah.
and then
You
having
want to cut.
ending it?
You cut right to the chase. There's no intro. There's no here. I'm a photographer, and today we're gonna scroll away. Like, no, nobody's watching that. You go right into the subject. Actually, what is good, you can start with something. I'm just bringing up a stupid example. You see the camera on a tripod falling over, bang, right? And then you cut to like a photographer holding it and leading up to that, something like that. You never want to have an intro and then a middle and then an ending. That is the classic of storytelling. That's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't work for short form video. People don't want to do that. If you do the classical like YouTube, like a logo intro, then hi, I'm so and so, and today we're going to talk about, scroll away. Doesn't work. Cut everything out. Like, even if people that do just like verbal content, they just talk, they cut the pauses out between the sentences, so it's like tighter, right? So you really want to be short, and that's why I say consume. Look on TikTok, look at the successful videos, the viral videos, and see what they're doing, and you'll find a pattern in terms of like how you tell a story in 5 seconds or in 10 seconds, or I mean, you can do longer videos. It's just very hard to keep the audience attention. And watch time is really one of the key factors for the engagement, how that engagement is judged and how your video is put out.
Yeah. Okay. Lynn asks, like, do you use a separate image at the end of your video? And there are some people who do that, but you don't. You just
no, I should. That's the whole point. I've seen it a lot, and actually, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showing the kind of like the behind the scene, and then bang, and you see the final image. Is actually, I think it's a cool effect, because you see like really what the difference is between seeing the dancer and then the final photo. It actually brings out what a photographer does.
Mm-hmm.
My approach was different. I wanted to have a seamless transition, so I don't do separate. But again, like I think there's plenty of examples of photographers who do that, behind the scenes, cut to that, and I think that works really well. It's a powerful moment at the end.
Yep. Yeah. I still have some more questions in here. JL says, so start with a cat and then cut straight to the fist fight.
Yes. And then put the gay pride flag at the end, right?
There you go.
No. Here's the thing about these things that I said. You can get engagement with things like that, but it's not the audience that you want. Like if you have a random audience because you have a random video going viral, that's not an audience that converts to you, mm-hmm. Which is actually a very important thing that I want to mention. If you consume on TikTok, for instance, but it's also true for any social media platform, you'll see the big successful creators, they have their niche or niche. I think both pronunciations are correct. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they stick to that. And it's really important. So you see a video and you like it, right? You might say, oh, I like that. Let me check out that account. And then they have more of that. They're like, oh, there's more of that exact same thing, right? Then they're going to follow you. So if you have a viral video doing a trend dancing and it just blew up and you have 3 million followers and the rest is photography, and then you going to the park and then showing your kids and then your dogs, it's going to follow you because it's random. Okay. Right. So look at the big creators. They have their niche and they stick to that, and they have it's basically almost the same video. I do this same video. It's like I created one video, like the concept, and do it over and over. That's what I do for my TikTok. And it works really well. And that's why I have such a high conversion ratio from going viral on a video to followers. That's why I've been growing so fast, because they see exactly what they just saw and what they expected.
Cool. I have one more question, and this is from Lisa. She's asking, how much time do you spend engaging on Instagram? And I guess probably TikTok as well, probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Was that different when you were first starting? And I think that's especially related to Instagram as opposed to TikTok.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I try to spend, well, how should I say that? I try to engage in people that my clients, for instance, like everybody does a client. Like, so if a client posts a photo, like let's stick with Instagram for now. So if a client posts one of my photos that I took with them, I repost it on my story. So that's a little like, thank you, and I feature them. And it's on my story, not on my main feed, right? So it just disappears and it doesn't stay permanent there. But they get featured and they're cool and they think that's cool. And it also encourages them to kind of post my photos because then they know, oh, I'm going to get featured on Shark Cookie's, at least story, right? So that's one thing that I do. I always comment on people that work with me, past clients, whether it's my photo or someone else. I always comment and I always say something positive. I don't believe in this exclusivity thing. So if someone of my clients works with a different photographer and they have a great image, I say, wow, this looks awesome. This is amazing. Because there is no positive outcome out of a negative comment or like shadow banning, not shadow banning, but just not engaging in them because they shot with another photographer. That's bullshit. You support someone that supported you no matter what they do. And that gives you a positive image in their mind. I think that's just common sense, human common sense. And then if I see amazing dancers that I want to work with, I might comment on them. I don't try to do I don't have time to do too much. I'm mostly concerned with running my, commenting back on stuff. But yeah, there's only so much time I have. A lot of other big creators told me what they do, and it's actually a very smart thing. So when you post, you engage right away in for 10, 15 minutes in the first comments that come in. So that the first people that arrive, you reply right away back to them. Maybe you like one of their photos, stuff like that. So that kind of encourages people to comment, to like, and they feel like they're getting something back. And obviously you can't do that all day. I think if you do it too much, it feels a little desperate. I've seen photographers go on everybody's account and comment. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, Lisa just asked a question, and I think I know what she's talking about. I'm not really familiar with it, but she was saying, what do you think about engagement pods to help with the ranking of your content? And have you ever been a part of it? And I think that's when, what is it, like 4 or 5 people get together and do something? Or?
Okay, so yeah, those are the engagement groups or follow parties and all of that. There's some of my clients that have that. They have they get like 200, 300 views, likes on their photo, and then they have 225 comments. It's just these engagement groups. And sorry, everybody knows that these are engagement groups. That's no true engagement. And trust me, those social media platforms know exactly that the same people keep going back and forth. So that's not going to help you go viral. It's not going to help you grow an audience. It just looks good to the people that don't know what engagement groups are. I'm not saying don't do it. It's okay. You can do it. I don't do it. I've never done that. I believe in an organic audience. I guess that's all I can say about that. What I wouldn't do is this follow for follow groups or even buying followers. The social media platforms are cracking down on that. And it's especially going to hurt you because the algorithm knows what bots are, and the algorithm knows they're follow for follow parties because they follow all each other. They can make that connection really quick. And actually, TikTok is banning accounts for doing that if you buy followers or that. Because here's the thing, like TikTok has you for posting certain things like going live, posting reels and stuff like that. TikTok is the creator fund, which basically pays you for views and likes that you get. And if they were fake, they wouldn't, you know what I mean? So yeah, don't do it. It's like imagine you're a rock star and you pay people to come to your concert. Your concert's going to look full, but you don't have an audience. So you're fooling yourself. If you want to do it and make you feel good, okay, but it's not true. Yeah. I don't punish people if I see that. Like a lot of my clients have that. I don't like look down on them. It's just what the moms do, like a lot of people do it.
So I'm actually looking at your IG feed right now. And
Yeah.
JL had asked a question about your thoughts on hashtags. And I see,
Yes.
you occasionally use the hashtag dance photography, um,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
you don't really use hashtags. Is that correct?
So yeah, so that's actually what I and a lot of other people have experimented with, because hashtags. Let me start by this. There's a lot of social media coaches right now, and I would be very, very careful with that. They're charging money to be, and then telling you things. Use 5 hashtags, post at this time of the day, all this nonsense. Okay, so I've done plenty of my own testing with hashtags, and other creators that I'm, talking with. They're also some of them have way more followers than I. In terms of pushing out your content, hashtags do not matter at all. 0. It does not help to put For You page FYP on your video, or all these things. Actually, Instagram doesn't even support hashtags in comments anymore. They don't read them. It has to be in a caption right away. They're not useless though. So I've done tests where I had no hashtags, and the number of views and engagement and how viral a video went has nothing to do with that. There is some uses to it. You can brand your own hashtag, which actually is a good idea. I don't do it, but it's a good idea. So you create your own hashtag, like pas de deux or something, so people can click on that and look everything. Oh, this is conference related. So that's actually a good thing. Another thing, if you have several accounts, you can have a hashtag that's common to you so people can find you over several accounts. Another thing is, for instance, on TikTok, you have no way to know how many total views you have. If you put the same hashtag on all your videos and you click on that hashtag, it shows you the total views. So there is some uses to that. And that's actually an interesting thing. So if you go to your analytics, again, like I'm very much about numbers and proving, what I'm thinking about and testing things out. There is on the analytics on TikTok show you exactly how people will find you, how people found that video, and the percentage of that. And it shows like they found you from your profile, from a For You page, people that following you, people from your finding hashtags, searches, music, and I think one more. And you can see how many people from each of those sources basically came. Nobody came from hashtags, 0 ever. Like all my videos, nobody came through maybe a few did, right? But that very little. So I use the hashtag dance photography on TikTok. If you click on that hashtag, I have 5 videos in the top 20. So that's cool, but I'm not getting a lot of followers out of that. The only reason I'm doing it is if someone actually really looks for dance photography and uses that hashtag, they're more likely to find my videos. But it has nothing to do with how viral, how much your video gets pushed out. Those algorithms are way smarter than being fooled by, oh yeah, I'm going to use this hashtag, and then they're going to fool the algorithm. No, it doesn't work that way.
All right. I have another topic question, and this is from Anthony. And he's just asking if you delete like Bitcoiner followers or other followers that are obviously spam accounts.
Yeah, I try, if someone, okay, so I have too many followers to actually scan through them. Like there's no way I can look through 500,000 people, right? I'm gaining thousands every day on TikTok, and, so there's no way I can scan through that. If someone is leaving spam comments, I block them. Like it's like, oh, Bitcoin, or there's a business opportunity, stuff like that, or follow me, or check out blah, blah, links, everything like that. That I delete and block, because that's just no. Other than that, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time, honestly. Like there was this discussion the other day in a group about, if someone is inappropriate, gets deleted, blocked right away. If I see something that stands out in any way, like not appropriate, not related, and like spammy, whatever, yeah, they get blocked. I don't engage with them. I don't reply. That just feeds that. Just block and delete, and you're good. Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much the way I do it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so what direction do you want to take this? We're heading into like our final 15 to 20 minutes.
Yes. I'm just looking through my notes because I wrote down, but we talked about a lot of things. Yeah, I think one thing that was like, so how do you convert that to clients? You know, the whole social media, it's all great, you have a lot of followers, but how does it actually translate to clients? You know,
Right.
I think it kind of, what I said in the beginning, I never advertise and never put anything that remotely feels like advertising. Well, the only exception is that every once in a while, I put out a post like, I'm traveling and here's my travel schedule. But the more text you have in a post, the more less likely people are going to watch it. It takes too much time. I let the people come to me. That is my approach. If someone is interested in your service, they're going to reach out. It's if think about like, it's like people going to a mall, right? You know, if someone is with these little hand things and just wants to hand you one, you're like, oh, no, you know, or you might take it and throw it away right away, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel with social media. If you reach out to people, that's exactly what that is. They're here to be entertained. You might do something comedy, you might do something beautiful, you might do something controversial, whatever it is, but they want to be entertained. They don't want to like, oh, let's see what product you have, you know? But there's a few and they will come, they will reach out, make it easy for them. That's what I said with that link tree or direct me or whatever. You can look at my account and see how I've done it. So make it very easy for you for them to reach out to you. But other than that, I don't think that pushy really works. Another thing that I wrote down, like, so do you reach out to dancers and ask them? I don't do that really. Like, it's like cold calls. I think it's like borderline pushy, and some moms might consider that inappropriate, that, you know, you reach out to them on social media. If they comment on your stuff, you see them comment a lot on your stuff, I think it's okay because they kind of like your stuff. And then if you reach out and like, hey, do you want to join my email list, for instance, like something very like simple, you know, I think that's okay. But I wouldn't reach out. Like, I think that whole reaching out thing is that, think about the guy in the mall handing you something, like, no. That's the best analogy I could find.
Yeah, that works really well.
Yeah, if there's more questions, I'm just looking through my reach out.
Maria asks, do you plan your videos? Is there a percentage you like to shoot images and then videos that you plan, you know, for like during a given session?
Like how the ratio between photos and videos that I shoot?
Well, like for example, she's saying, okay, so you're doing let's say you're doing a 2-hour session with a dancer, okay? At what point in time do you say, okay, let's spend some time doing video, or is that something you just do like at the very end, you just say, hey, let's just get something here? How does that work?
No, it's just basically just like another photo. In a sense that the flow of the session. So I see a good moment for a jump or something that would work well for a video, might be a kick or whatever, and then I'll shoot a video of that instead of a photo. Sometimes the dancer doesn't even know what I'm doing. Obviously, there is a little difference in shooting a video because you have to consider, it's actually something that I didn't know, that the dancer told me. I shot a video and I thought it was really cool, and she said, no, my prep isn't good. And she was a ballet dancer, and it's also important, like the way you step into it and come in, you know, that has to be pretty too. I'm like, oh yeah, true, I didn't even think of that. So you have to let them know and kind of prep for that, have more space for them, you cover a little more area. It's really, really hard to do any kind of like Photoshop work on a video, like power lines, all of that is really, really hard to take out because it's in motion. So that's all. That's like, I'm just looking at something that works really well for video, and then I just shoot a video. The dancer doesn't really, yeah.
And when you're doing that, then you just use like whatever your natural light is. You don't like, you're not hauling lights around just for.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes. So what I have is actually a really powerful battery-driven LED light. A daylight source, and I add that instead of the flash, because I would say 95% of my photos are taken with a flash. Even if the light is good, I feel like there's always a little way you can add something in. And I think that is even more important for a video, because I can go in Lightroom or Photoshop and enhance a photo. And video, that's really hard because, you know, like painting and all of that, it's really hard for a video. You can't, there's only so much you can do for a video without spending hours. And so I try to make the video in camera as good as possible. And one way is to have a light. It's tedious, it's freaking heavy as hell. It's still not powerful enough. The batteries are huge and only last for like 1.5 hours. So I always have to turn the light off once I'm done and turn it back on. It's tedious. But here's the thing. If something is hard, that's a chance for you to stand out to your competition. Do it.
Yeah. Okay. You may want, like Light in Motion is going to be one of our sponsors for the for the conference, and they have their Stella Pro lights, which are pretty powerful. But the thing about them more than anything is that they're incredibly light. And
then send me them. Connect me. I wanna test your lights.
I'll do that. Okay, we had another question up here. Well, JL was just saying, okay, here's a forward-looking question, and that's, what's the next thing if the U.S. government banned TikTok? You know, what would you concentrate on? And I think it's kind of impossible to answer because you never know what's going to come up next. It just starts happening, and you just try to jump on the train as early as you possibly can, right?
Yeah, I think it's unlikely they're actually going to ban it. They considered it, but they've been banned in India, which is 800,000 people that just got locked out. But you know, it kind of goes back to what I said in the beginning. It might be just that your account gets banned. My account was very close to getting banned on TikTok because community guidelines. You know, when you show minors in dancewear, they don't like that. Finally, they kind of realized I'm okay, so they're good now. But yeah, you can. I see people getting banned all the time. So it's something to keep in mind. Spread it out, different platforms, build your email list, network in the real world. All of that is really important. You might lose your social media. Where is it going? I think short form video in general is the content, and it might go into different directions. You know, honestly, the video thing isn't that new. Some of you might remember Flickr. That was the coolest photo platform at some point, and they added video and everybody was screaming. But that was like more than 10 years ago. They already knew video is coming. Instagram added video long time ago. And then more and more video apps were coming. So I think the content of short video, that's going to stick around. That's going to be whatever the platform is. And so I actually, so here's the thing. We as photographers are great. We have the best position because we already create content. We create stuff for our clients. We get paid for that. That's awesome. Most of the content creators that are big on social media, like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? We do it anyways. And then what we do, we just package it differently for the different platforms. So like on Instagram, it's more photos, maybe the carousels, on TikTok, it's going to be like videos, maybe behind the scenes. So whatever the platform is going to be, the next one, you just package it for that. That's why I say consume, look what the platform is about, and then find a way to kind of go on that.
Right. And someone just mentioned that, they had a video removed because his daughter that he was taking a video of was wearing a crop top. And yes. I think that's what it was. Like yes. Under the age of 18, maybe even if it was a two-piece, they yes. weren't even like allowing that, which was pretty ridiculous when it's dancewear.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a problem. I had that problem like all the time. So I post mostly older dances on TikTok, but I was really hammered with community guideline violations for the most ridiculous video. Even like an adult ballerina was flagged as a child, and the video was up and I reposted it again. It didn't do so well. So like, I'll just post it again, right? See how it does. And then they flagged it and said it's a child minor, like minor safety. Like, it's an adult and it's already there. So don't take that personal. If that happens, it's just their stupid AI system thinking it's a child. But yeah.
Okay, well, we're heading into the final stretch now. And
yeah, sure.
Want to see what else you have on your list there that you want to
yeah, I think Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to say, because I keep hearing that, people know that I have a big social media following and said, oh, I'm getting shadow banned. My stuff isn't, they're not pushing out my stuff. They're not showing my stuff. As humans, we naturally have that. If something goes bad, we try to blame everybody but ourselves. Take responsibility for your content. You might put like, and it happens to me all the time, like there's phases where your posts are doing shit. They're not like right now on Instagram, nothing goes even over 1,000 likes. I don't know why. It's the same stuff I put out. And there's other days where it gets 2,000-3,000 likes, Same with TikTok. Some have millions, some have, 20,000. So it's not always your content. It's sometimes there's other things going on, whatever the platform just decides to do. You're not being shadow banned. The platform doesn't care. They would never suppress anybody unless they are really like doing something dangerous or something like that, which we all don't. So it's not something that you're not getting punished or anything. Just try different things. And sometimes the photo that you think is the best or video might not be the best, just ask someone who is actually honest. Don't ask another photographer. They're going to be nice to you. I know I can ask you, Ron, but just be open to like your favorite photo or video might not be as cool as you think it is. And that's just, that's just, I have to catch myself doing the same thing. I really love that photo. It's not doing well. Well, maybe it isn't the best photo.
So how often should you post to Instagram? How often should you post to TikTok?
Yeah, good question. There is no rule. I've had people with, there's one guy has 1.6 million. He did many tests. He said he posted 50 times a day. That was TikTok. And then just like once a week, it really doesn't matter. And I heard that from a TikTok representative, actually, indirectly. It was a big account. So very big creators have a TikTok rep that help them with, creating their stuff and giving them a little insight. And they said every video you post on TikTok is its own entity and would be considered separate from the algorithm. So each video has the same chance to go viral or not. Doesn't matter if you post 50 one time, whatever. From my experience, I think it's good to have a constant stream. So I would post at least once a day. On Instagram, if you post too much and it shows up in the feed of your followers too many times, so it's him again, they might be like a little bored. That's all. On TikTok, you can post as many times as you want. One thing I would say, if you have a good series, spread it out. I know you're excited, you want to get it out, spread it out. You have content for more time.
Yeah. Very good.
Which actually leads to another question that I get a lot. Is there a better time of the day to post?
It's hilarious. Jennifer just posted that question.
Yes. So I tested this out. It makes no difference, either on Instagram and on TikTok. I know people will swear to me like, no, if I post exactly, that's when my people are online. That's when they see it. No, it's not true. I've tested this out over and over. If you wait long enough, it'll even out. Mm-hmm. Also, none of the platforms shows chronologically anymore. That used to be the case on Instagram many years ago. They changed that a long time ago. The videos that I do on or Reels or posts or TikTok, they gain their likes and all of that over several days. So any time of the day is good. I tested it out, makes no difference.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we're getting ready to wrap up right now.
Yes.
A lot of people have been thanking us for this. I just wanted to see if you had any final comments before, we sign off for today.
I think we went through everything.
I think so.
Yeah. When to post, all of that. Yes. I think we got everything. Yeah. If there's any like last minute questions.
Yeah, I'll be posting a video hopefully tomorrow on our Facebook page. So like people can be asking questions on there. I know you're pretty active on there, so you'll be able to jump in there and answer some questions. So thank you very much, David, for being a part of this. I think we're going to see you again next week. We're going to do another webinar next week and talk about the Pas de Dance Photography Conference in Austin on February 24th to 27th. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you again next week, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Ron, for doing this. I appreciate all the work you put in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week and of course to the conference and seeing you all.
All right. Thanks again. We'll see you.